Welcome to our 5 on 5. I'm pleased to be joined today by Judy Farm, the CEO of Tribal One. It's a Coquel tribe-owned company. Judy, thank you for taking the time and joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So this is the tribe's second time around trying to build a Medford casino. Unlike years ago when the Federal Bureau of Indian Affairs rejected your last effort, the politics have changed. There's new city leadership in Medford, a new board of commissioners in Jackson County, a new governor, and a new president. Why will it be different this time around?
Well, if I could, I'd like to correct that just a bit. We
Please.
are still in the same process. We were remanded back into the process where we left off in 2021, in January of 2021. So we are actually finishing the same original process. It's taken about 10 years. So it's been a long process, but actually it's just one. So.
Still a long process then.
A long
okay.
process.
So I believe Brenda Mead from the tribe has said before that the tribe didn't feel it was given a fair shake. Why is that?
Well, I think that, the merits of the project, it's 2.42 acres. It has a going concern on it. It's, just a remodel and new construction for gaming machines to be added to an existing operating business. Seems like 10 years is a long time to do a NEPA process on environmental impacts for that small of a size and scope of a project.
No Oregon tribe has more than one casino. Why should the Coquel, or any tribe for that matter, get another?
Well, again, I'm sorry, but I need to just correct that. That's
Please.
Incorrect. The Coos tribe in Coos Bay actually has 2 casinos. They have a Class 3 and a Class 2. And another tribe, the Warm Springs tribe, has also had 2 casinos. So while you may have heard a myth that there is a one casino rule, that actually is not true, and actually the Legislative Committee on Gambling came up with that as a final takeaway from their work that they did, understanding that never was a rule and it's not policy in Oregon.
Okay, so for background, as you and I were discussing before, Class 2 is kind of video type things. There's no table games, correct? There's no
Right.
no roulette. There's no poker. It's like video poker and other kinds of slot machines, correct?
Sure, it's video games that are based on bingo, but they're a video gaming machine essentially.
And so you said, forgive me, the tribes, I think you said Coos and Warm Springs. Some of them have Class 2, Class 3. Your facility in North Bend is Class 3, is that correct?
That's correct.
And the one you're trying to build here is Class 2.
That is also correct, but I think it's also important to note that in our compact with the state of Oregon, the state agreed that we would be able to have another casino within that compact, and that the state had no oversight of Class 2 gaming for us. So it's important to remember that each tribe is different, and each tribe negotiates a different compact with the state. They're not all the same.
Interesting. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll have much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Judy Farm, the CEO of Tribal One. That is a Coquel tribe-owned company. We're talking about the tribe's proposed Medford casino. Judy, your materials say a considerable concentration of tribal members live in Jackson County. Is that why you believe the tribe should be allowed to open a casino here?
So every tribe is different, and the Coquel tribe was the last tribe restored in Oregon. There's 9 tribes in Oregon. And when they were restored, because of termination and assimilation policy, tribal members were dispersed. And actually Jackson County was the second largest concentration of tribal members, which is why Congress identified Jackson County as one of the 5 counties in which the tribe was able to do economic development.
Yeah, forgive me, it is confusing to me, and I've spent a lot of time on this in the last decade, so I'm sure you can understand where our viewers are coming from. They obviously have way less information at their disposal per se than I do. But as you're saying, there are different rules for different tribes. Yep. Obviously, there's different areas for different tribes. Some tribes have multiple casinos, it sounds like, or at least 2. Your tribe has 1 currently. How can I don't know, what's the best way for people to kind of get a handle on all this stuff, for lack of a better phrase?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think don't believe what you hear. Go and look at the facts. Go do, do some research, use critical thinking skills, and go find out for yourself, because there's a lot of misinformation. Compacts with the state are transparent, they're online, and there's a lot of information that you can look at. For instance, our Restoration Act, which is also publicly available.
You provided us materials saying surveys of local residents, I believe when the project first started about a decade ago, showed, quote, widespread support in Medford and throughout Jackson County. If that's true, why has our local government opposed this project?
Well, I think that I wouldn't say our local government opposes the project. I think we've come a long way in 10 years. And when we first brought the project forward, there was a lot of support for the project from the public. But I think intentionally this process is sculpted to get input from impacted agencies. So I think that the city government needed time to understand the scope and size and impact of the project, and we have a great relationship with our city partners and our county partners, and we look forward to doing great things with them in the future.
Okay. Well, I know we discussed possibly doing another version of this online. We might go twice as long as all this. Hope to do that if you're still willing to stick around. We hope to post it on our website, KOBI5.com. Judy, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, there's a lot to this. It's very complicated stuff, certainly
Yes.
for many of us on the outside looking in. So thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me, Craig.
We'll be right back.